Welcome to Shrouded Realities. We got a fun episode.
Pumped
episode. We got our first remote guest in the show's history. We've got Cayton from the Metal Bible Podcast. I'm sorry, no, you just changed it. Metal Bible Studio.
I did.
I knew I was going to do it. I wrote it down to say studio, and I screwed it up right off the bat. That's all right, brother.
It's all good, bro.
Yeah, man. I found your stuff on Facebook. You've got a pretty banging Facebook. You throw out a lot of stuff, and what you was throwing out jives with what we put out.
Pretty much everything that we're about.
Nice. And I was like, we gotta get this guy on.
Yeah.
And we're gonna talk about Nephilim today.
Awesome.
The genesis of our show.
Look at that.
Pardon the pun.
See what he did there?
See what I did there?
That's the whole reason why I call it the Metal Bible Podcast, because what's more metal than the freaking Nephilim, man? That's like the most metal
That's
part of the entire Bible.
You get to talk about giants and angels having sex with chicks.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, you don't get no more metal than that. And they bring it in, the Bible brings it in early. Chapter 6 of the first book of the Bible.
And it's throughout the entire
beginning.
Bible. Most people don't even realize
it is.
It is. That was let's start there. That was one of the things I was wanting to talk about with you is like how, as a Christian, when you're growing up, you hear all the stories and you just kind of gloss over all this stuff, and then you get once you read it and you go, oh, Nephilim, that's a weird word. Let's figure out what that is.
Yep.
And then you fall down the rabbit hole, and then it makes everything else make sense.
Oh,
really.
yeah. It also makes the Bible really interesting. I mean, most people, like I've done polls in like the church that I grew up in. I taught about the Nephilim one Sunday in a class, and like 3 of the 20 people had even heard the term. Right. Yeah. My mom, she's in her 60s. She's been going to church her whole life, and she had never ever heard of it unless I was talking about it, and then her eyes just kind of gloss over because when you talk about it to some people, they just are like, what are you giants? That doesn't no. Surely I would have heard about this, but now recently my mom's been getting into it, like really getting into it. Like it's awesome. She asked me if she could borrow my copy of Enoch, and so I bought her one and just sent it to her. And she's asking me questions all the time. And yesterday she was like, "Why does the church not teach about this?" And I said, "Well, because it's weird. It has giants in it. It's insane." And her response was perfect. She said, "But it's God's word." And she was like mad that she had never heard about it.
Yeah, and I've got a similar. Like I'm 44. We started this when I was 42.
Yep.
And I remember we talked about it in the break room. The reason I talked about it in the break room, I almost forgot this. I did a devotional at work, and I was talking about the story of Noah, and in my devotional, I skipped over 6:4 because I didn't understand it.
Yep. No.
And I didn't want to explain it because I didn't understand it.
See, I was at my parents' church, and I was in the class, and they happened to be talking about Genesis 6, and I was like, yes, we're going to talk about Genesis 6. And they were just reading it verse by verse. And once you get to verse 4, they just acted like it wasn't there and went to verse 5, and I was like, hold up.
Whoa.
Wait, you missed one. And they were just like, no, we're not going to talk about that. I was like, why? It was like, because it's hard to understand. And like, I think honestly what it is like a lot of people feel like a lot of church leaders feel like they have to protect the church from the weird stuff in the Bible because it's just too weird. And even though, even if they had heard of it, most of them probably think that it just is talking about the sons of Seth because that's what they've heard.
Yep.
I mean, people will just believe anything in order to not believe what it literally says.
Sure.
Right. And when somebody brings up sons of Seth, I say, okay, just show me one time in the entire Old Testament where the term sons of God refers to anything other than angelic beings.
Correct. Yeah.
Just one time. Show me one time. And like it says it the countless number of times through Job and all of that, like, but in this one verse, it doesn't mean what it means everywhere else. Like God made a typo
No.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, and most people don't realize, like the term Nephilim is mentioned twice in the Bible, right? And so a lot of people are like, well, it's only mentioned twice, so it doesn't matter. But actually, the term Nephilim is only mentioned twice, but they are found throughout the entire text.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
you've got Og,
Amos
giants,
harkens back to it, and he talks about how they were as tall as cedars, right? Numbers 22:22 is my favorite passage of the Bible because it talks about how they were grasshoppers in their sight. I mean, they come back with, like, the giants apparently figured out how to make giant grapes, right? Because they're carrying back grapes, and it takes two people to carry one clump of grapes. Like, most people realize, like, that's, if it's weird, it's there on purpose, and it means something, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the word of God. We should not run from it. And the church just runs from this topic. Before I go any further, so your listeners know, I have Tourette syndrome. Just get that out of the way. That's why I make noises. That's why I make faces. People have complained about it in past podcasts, and I'm just get over it. All right, I can't help it.
Yeah.
It's what is it?
Just get over it. Yeah.
I promise you, people's not coming to this podcast to look at pretty people.
Right.
So
Well,
don't worry
I
about
mean,
that.
three of my kids have it. So, you know, it is what it is. All right.
It is what it is.
But anyway, so if you don't understand the Nephilim, you don't understand a lot of the Bible. You don't understand, like, it goes from Genesis 6 all the way up until the reason why Saul is removed as king. Right?
Yeah.
The Amalekites were a descendant of the Nephilim, right? They're called a Nephilim tribe. All of the Ites tribes, and the Zamzamines and all of those weird. Here's a rule of thumb: every single time God shows up and goes scorched earth and says, "Kill every man, woman, and child, all of the sheep, all the goats, all of everything," that's because the Nephilim are present, right? Well, to be exact, the Nephilim aren't present. The descendants of the Nephilim are present, right? Because the actual Nephilim are just the ones that were created directly from the sons of God mating with women, and those are the Nephilim. And then you get descendants after that. And the Bible tells us they were mighty men of old, men of renown, and they were worshipped as gods. A lot of the ancient gods are based on them, and then you've got demigods like Hercules and all of the Greek pantheon. Like, you've got all the lower level gods, and the entire world tells this story of beings coming and mating with women and creating this hybrid race, and crazy things happen. Right, they're super strong.
There's architectural evidence of all of
right,
it, all over the world.
Yeah.
Mexico, Peru.
Oh, Peru has some weird
Yes.
stuff. Have y'all seen the little, like, 3-fingered alien thing, mummies that they found? That's so weird. And that's another thing. I think, like, pre-flood giants were just giant, humongous entities. I think after the flood, we still get the giants, but I think we also got some weird things as well, because anytime you mix sons of God, for lack of a better term, angels with human, you get some weird stuff happening, right? And the pre-flood world was vastly different than this one is. Everything was bigger, so even the giants would have been bigger. I mean,
let me ask you, where do you think we talked about that on our episode, but we really didn't have a good answer. And there seems to be a bunch of different answers. Where do you think that change? I mean, where that bloodline falls through past Noah?
Okay,
because it said before and after. So where do you think they came back down and remated, or do you think the genetics just kind of flowed?
I'm torn. I think it's possible that they maybe came through one of the sons of Noah.
one of his wives.
Yeah, one of the
I've heard that a
wives.
lot.
That's
Yeah.
kind of where I landed was the wives. Maybe they had some genetics.
I mean, you have stories from ancient pagans talking about like it happening during their time where they were making human, like they were mating with these other beings. Plus, a lot of people think Sodom and Gomorrah is just about like the gay stuff. It's because they were trying to mess with angels.
Yeah. Okay.
Specifically, right? It gets brought back up again in the New Testament, and it harkens back, and it directly links. I think it's Joel who talks about it. I'm drawing a blank. Who brings up Sodom and Gomorrah, and he directly links it to Genesis 6 in the passage. And so, because there's another time where God shows up and goes scorched earth, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Funny thought, but how dumb of an angel do you have to be to see what happened the first time and then be like, nah, I'm going to try that again?
Yeah, let me try that twice. Didn't work out the first time. Maybe we try this one more.
Right. Yeah. And like a lot of people don't realize, like in ancient Hebrew, if you were to ask somebody today, like, when was the fall of everything? They would say, it's Genesis 3, it's Adam and Eve, and that's it. Right. But if you talk to like an ancient Israelite, they would give you three answers. I would, of course, say Genesis 3. They would also bring up Genesis 6. And then they would bring up Deuteronomy 32:8 with the Tower of Babel, which explains why every other religion on planet Earth exists. And I'd never heard any of that. I mean, I went to Bible college, got kicked out twice.
Nice. Nailed it.
Got kicked from the same college too. They were stupid enough to let me go back. The first time I got kicked out because I went to a movie at a movie theater. I'm not kidding.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was a very conservative Baptist. It's Baptist Bible College in Springfield, Missouri. Had to wear a shirt and tie to class. I couldn't have any facial hair at all, and obviously I don't care too much for that. So I get written up all the time for not saying. But anyways, I'm going on a rabbit hole there.
Nice.
But they would give you those three answers. And they might even bring up like Psalm 82 to kind of confirm it. Like Psalm 82 talks about the gods, right? And I was always taught that meant like the gods are just the human judges. I just kind of, because I was always like, why does the Bible say God sits in a council of gods, basically?
Sure. Yeah.
And they're like, oh, well, it's just talking about human judges. It doesn't say that, right?
It doesn't.
And then in Psalm 89, those same human judges are in the sky. Seems kind of hard for an ancient Israelite to be in the sky. But anyways, I digress. So, sorry, I get on tangents and I keep going and I keep going and I keep going.
Man, that's this show.
It's a rabbit hole. Anyway.
That's just this show in general.
This is a rabbit hole subject. I mean, like you was talking about, all this making the Bible make sense a lot more than it already did. You used to read through the genealogies and you get to those and you're just like, I'm just going to skip this because it's this begat that. And, yeah. But once you realize that that's proven the pure genes leading to Jesus and Noah and Abraham, it's like, stuff's important.
It is.
And it proves.
But the begots get me.
Right.
It's tough.
he begat.
You still gloss over a little bit, but still.
I like to liken it.
But it's important.
I like to liken it to like a legal document that is proving the lineage of Jesus, proving that there's no tainted Nephilim stuff in there, and that it actually comes from, that he comes from David, right?
Yeah.
And goes all the way back to Adam, and so.
Yep.
Yeah, the genealogies are boring, and most people skip through it. Let's be honest, most people skip through Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There's just like this. It's the books of the law. It's boring, but there's a lot of cool stuff. Numbers is one of my favorite books. It is really cool. It's got Balaam in there, Balaam and the donkey, and it's got more Nephilim. I mean, the Nephilim are the reason why the Israelites had to stay in the desert for 40 more years.
Okay. Explain that.
Yep.
Because in Numbers 22, they send the spies into the promised land, and they come back and they're like, we saw the Nephilim there, the sons of Anak, and we were grasshoppers in their sight, and they were terrified, most of them. And then you had just a couple that were like, no, God got us through all this other stuff, so I think he can get us through this. And they're like, no, there's giants. We can't go in there. Even though God had just brought them out of Egypt, he just literally made a wall of water to crush their enemies, that they created a song right afterwards to sing about praising God for the death of their enemies and getting them out of Egypt. I mean, I like to harp on the Israelites, but I'm just as bad. I mean, God will do amazing things for me.
Absolutely.
And I'll immediately turn around. Now, mind you, he's never had a wall of water or turned water into blood.
I was about to say, if you've seen that.
But I say that, but I'm pretty stupid. So I would definitely probably do the.
Oh, yeah. I would say everybody in this room would probably agree with you.
Yeah, that's our mantra. We're just three idiots just talking about crap that we shouldn't be talking about. But
right,
that's how you learn, though.
So because the Israelites were scared of the Nephilim tribes, God says, "All right, all of you, well, we're going to go for 40 years, and basically all of you are going to die, and your kids get to go."
Oh yeah.
Which that really sucks.
Yeah.
Like I've had some atheists, and some memes that I've seen. They're like, show the map from Egypt to the Promised Land, and they're like, it took 40 years to get to here. Like they took a detour.
Yeah.
There was
a literal tribe of giants standing in their way.
Right. But I've had some people say, well, who even argue against the Nephilim being like supernatural. They'll say, well, why did God, he killed all of them in the flood. Why would he just allow them back?
Yeah.
And that's a fair question. But here's the thing. God is trying to build a kingdom through Israel. He's trying to build a powerhouse kingdom. And that everybody in that area of the Promised Land, they were terrified of these giants, these giant clans, right? And Israel goes in and wipes them out. That's some street cred. Right? Nobody wants to mess with Israel. Like, that allows them time to build up their kingdom for a while. Now they go through all the horrible things for a while, but it gives time for them to actually build the kingdom, because the whole point is to build them up so then Jesus can eventually come through them. Right? And so the last time they physically show up in the Old Testament is in 1st and 2nd Samuel. And that's when David and his brothers kill Goliath's brothers. Like, a lot of people are like, Goliath had brothers. Yeah, he had 4 of them. Which also makes sense as to why David grabbed 5 stones.
He thought they was coming in.
Yeah, he was like, I don't have to deal with them. And also, did you guys watch the new David movie?
I haven't yet. I want to.
Excellent.
Is it live action?
No, it's a
cartoon.
It's animated, but it is excellent. And somebody paid attention because Goliath has 6 fingers in that movie.
No,
I swear. I was like, they're definitely not going to do it. It's a kids' movie, and I was like, oh my gosh, they did it.
Well, I'm glad you told me that, because I usually stay away from Christian movies in Hollywood for that.
I think it was Angel Studios
fact,
that made it.
Okay, they're good. They're solid.
Yeah,
I just canceled my Angel subscription too.
Bad timing.
Yeah. I mean, but
Pick it back up.
the David movie is legitimately a very good movie. I really, really
Good.
enjoyed it.
Biblically accurate.
Yeah.
Just, I kind of want to pick your brain on this. Why do you think that the David and Goliath story is one of those that everybody can kind of latch onto,
But Nephilim,
but
no.
they can't grab onto that being Nephilim?
Well, because I think honestly they just kind of because the Bible doesn't say and Goliath the Nephilim descendant.
Sure.
They just say, oh, well, he was just a really big guy. The problem
he
with
looks
that,
like Shaq or something.
right? But
Yeah.
Shaq plus like 3 feet,
Yeah.
and so
Yeah.
What was it? 9 feet? Was that the kind of thought?
yeah, it's
was
like
9
9
feet, I
to
believe?
10 feet, something like that.
Sure.
Very large, right? Bigger than any human being. Period.
Sure.
So something else is going on there. And there was also an Amazon series that was about David, and they actually talked about the Nephilim in there. I didn't finish it. I forget what it was called. House of David.
Yeah.
And it was pretty good. I mean, it's for Amazon, and they talk about the Nephilim and stuff in there. Which is
Yeah, they put six toes on him too, and I'm looking up screenshots.
yeah.
They put six toes on him.
I didn't pay attention to the. I figured they did if they put, but I was like, this is a kids movie, and it's more accurate than like any other media that's ever. Here's my problem. Amazon will talk about the Nephilim, but the church will not.
Yeah.
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 Amazon, who ruined Lord of the Rings.
Yep.
Okay. One of the greatest works of literature in all of history. Ruined. They spent $1 billion on it, and they turned the orcs and tried to make them sympathetic. Made them have kids.
Get out of here.
I
Family.
didn't watch it. I saw too many people telling me it was bad.
I really,
just couldn't watch
really
it.
tried. I wanted to like it. I really tried. But they made the orcs into like they were like trying to make you feel bad for them. And we're like, they're supposed to be like the epitome of evil.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I mean, Hollywood's been doing that for a long time where they try to make the villains have like sympathetic stories. You got the Joker, you got Cruella de Vil. You've got
The anti-hero.
Right.
Yeah.
and just like, oh, well, he kind of had a point. No, it's okay for somebody to just be evil because some people are just evil.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a lot of evil
There's
in the
a
world.
lot of evil.
Yep.
And so I think with Goliath, it's just people don't think about it. Well, first of all, they've never even heard of the term Nephilim, so they don't even connect that.
Sure.
Yeah, even some of I was looking through some of the translations before we hopped on, and King James Version, King James Version just say giants. It doesn't say Nephilim.
Yep.
You have to you have to look at different translations to catch the word Nephilim at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you hear giants, you're thinking again like Goliath, just
a
a
tall guy.
7 foot tall dude. You know.
In Bible college, I actually had a professor tell me that was talking about dinosaurs.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Apparently, angels mating with humans make dinosaurs.
Dinosaur.
Made dinosaurs.
Now, he definitely didn't think that angels even mated with women. I mean, that's a weird thing to think about.
It is. Yeah.
But
Well, let me ask you. Let me ask you about the Book of Enoch. That was one of our questions too. I did a audio version, listened through the whole thing, but a lot of people, they get scared of it. They're scared to look into it and afraid to take it as scripture. And I didn't take it as scripture, but it was super informative, and it seemed to be like a side quest of Genesis 6:4.
Yeah.
And explained it a lot more where Genesis 6:4 didn't.
I'll say I was one of those people.
Yeah.
I grew up in kind of that Southern Baptist setup myself,
Yeah.
and it was
the
a no-no
Apocrypha,
topic
you
to
don't
an
touch the
extent.
Apocrypha, you don't touch Enoch.
Yeah.
No. So what's your thoughts on that? Where do you land on that?
The way I like to describe Enoch is it's like a fan fiction with some truth of Genesis 6:4.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, I think probably how Enoch got compiled is oral traditions that were passed down and passed down and passed down, and somebody eventually wrote them down. And obviously it's not scripture. It shouldn't be included as scripture. And really the main part of the Enoch that's interesting is the Book of the Watchers part of it. Which is just the first part. That's the only part that's actually included in the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it doesn't include the whole thing. It's just got like parts of the Book of the Watchers, which means that part of the Book of Enoch is 2,300 years old.
Yeah.
Which is really, really old.
Yeah.
Which means it has some validity to it. And here's the thing. The writers of the Bible did not wake up one day because they were possessed by God and look next to them and, oh my gosh, I wrote this book while I was asleep. Right? God didn't possess them and write the book for them. The way God inspired it is he guided their lives in such a way that they would write it the way that he wanted them to. He knew exactly what he needed to do to get exactly what he wanted. And one of the things he wanted them to do is to read books. I know it's shocking, but the biblical writers read books. Super interesting. I know it's like that's mind-blowing stuff.
Yeah,
want them to be well read.
Right.
Go figure.
Shouldn't we as Christians have a desire to also read those books? It doesn't make them scripture.
Well, I mean, we have commentaries today that are not scripture. Yeah. I mean, we have tons and tons of biblical literature, or, you know, this is somebody's opinion of this and this and that. So, I mean, I don't see that being necessarily wrong unless they're just, you know, being blatantly heretical or something.
It's not. Enoch is not like the Gnostic Gospels, right?
Right.
Where these people were trying to change doctrines, and they were trying to the Gnostics had a whole different belief system. Like they didn't believe that Jesus was actually like flesh and blood, right? And so the Book of Enoch is not scripture, but that doesn't mean that it's not important.
Yeah. That's right. Where I landed.
Because what it does for us is, first of all, it wipes out the sons of Seth theory immediately.
Yeah.
Right? Because when you read the Bible, the best way to read it is to read it from the perspective of a first century Jew, because that is the audience for which the Bible was written. The Bible was not written to us, right?
Yeah.
It was not written to, it's written for us, but it is not written to us. And so the audience it was written to understands it in a way that is very different from a 21st century American Christian.
Yeah.
Our culture is vastly different. Go ahead.
I had that thought when we first come across Nephilim of why did it seem to skip over? Why did it throw in that one little verse and then never bring it up? Well, it brought it up again later that we've later found out, but it was literally just one little verse where it mentioned Nephilim and the sons of God. And it just moves on. But then once you read Enoch, you're like, there it is. And you realize that the writer of Genesis already knew his
audience
like
already knew it.
He was writing to the first. Yeah, he was writing to the first century.
He didn't have to explain it to them. They already
because
knew.
They already knew that.
It's the same with the passage where Paul says that women should wear hats because of the angels, and then he just moves on.
Yep.
The only way this makes sense is if you have the mindset of that they thought about the Nephilim a lot, right? His first century audience go, okay, well, women have to wear hats, so the angels aren't tempted by our women.
Yep.
It's that simple, right?
Yep.
You have these commentaries, like people just go on and on trying to explain this whole thing, and I'm just like, it's literally just that simple. It's the Nephilim.
It's the Nephilim. Let's take a quick break. We're 30 minutes in. Let's take a quick break. We usually plug ShroudedRealities.com.
Not today.
Not
We don't
today.
want it.
I mean, you can go to shroudedrealities.com if you wanted to.
You can go there.
You know,
We have
it's
things,
a
we have
cool
stuff.
website. But
It's a cool place.
I want to Cayton have the time. I'm gonna give it to you, brother. Tell us about Metal Bible Podcast and I'm sorry, Metal Bible Studios. Tell us where to find you. I did it again.
Yeah, that's all right. So Metal Bible, I started this 3 years ago. Kind of not knowing where I was going to go with it. And then I kind of went to a podcast. And now the reason I switched from podcast to studio is I just don't have enough time to make weekly podcasts. I don't have enough time. Work 2 jobs. I got a family. And so I still will be making a lot of content. And I may even make some like podcast-ish episodes, like full-length episodes. But I'm also be making music, making short, like quick, like apologetics videos, debunking atheists, mocking atheists.
Which is my favorite part of your Facebook.
And I get messages sometimes from people, and they have a good they have a good heart.
Yeah.
And they're trying to criticize me because I'll call somebody a moron. And my response is always this: have you read the Bible? Have you read what Jesus said to people? Like, Jesus called his own friends idiots. Yeah. That's what he said to his friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
His followers.
The people that followed him. He was like, anytime it says, "Oh, ye fools," like modern terms, hey, stupid. That's what he's saying. And then when he's talking about, when he's talking to people that are mocking him, he's relentless to them. Says that they're useless like whitewashed tombs. That, like, when we read these things, like, oh, you're like a whitewashed tomb, polished and holding a dead person, right? And so it's like, why would you polish it? There's no need for it, right? You are useless. He's saying you are a useless person. He says that they're like a brood of vipers, that their dad is Satan. Right? And so mockery is a part of the Metal Bible. And obviously, there can be a point where it becomes sinful. But that's a big part for me, is making, I want to make Christians bold and realize that what we have is the truth, and it's okay to defend it vigorously. And so you can follow me on Facebook. Right now, I only have the time and the mental capacity to just deal with Facebook. I can't handle doing X and all that. I've tried to do it. I just get too messed up because I'm very ADHD. And so Facebook, I mean, I got about 20,000 followers on there. I've grown pretty well, especially in the last year. You can follow me on Metal Bible Studio on Facebook. I'm about to start creating a lot more video content. I've made some in the past. Nice. I'm about to start making a lot. I make music. I have music videos. I have a music video called Fall of the Nephilim that I actually I did the vocals for. Nice. I've got like 3 songs on there. I made the videos. I'm also an author. I wrote a book.
That's sweet.
Called Babylon Games: Rise of the Gods. You can get it on Amazon and Barnes & Noble.
We'll check that out.
If you look up Metal Bible Podcast on Spotify, there's 2 or 3 episodes on there that does it's the first like 6 or 7 chapters that I did, and it's like fully immersive audio. It's like listening to a movie.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that because your first episode was your testimony on your podcast that you put out, and then your second one you shifted gears. I was going to ask you what.
I actually had I had more podcast episodes. I had like 7 or 8 on there, but I decided I was going to kind of switch gears. And so I left the first one up because it's my testimony from my grandmother, and why I am where I am. That you can listen to that episode on Spotify. It's a very personal story. To put it quick, my grandmother was slowly tortured to death slowly over the span of 3 years by my grandfather, who was a pastor. Evil man. And how that one thing happening changed my whole life. For horrible at first, like I went down a horrible spiral and saw some of the most demonic things. I had the worst sleep paralysis I've ever had in my life. Like demonic stuff was happening to me during that time that shook me to my core because I'd never experienced anything like that in my life. The Babylon Games, Rise of the Gods, that book is, I like to describe it as if you were to mix the book of Revelation with the book or movie Ready Player One.
Okay. I like that.
So
I'll be grabbing that.
Yeah, we're gonna check that out for
We're
sure.
gonna be grabbing that.
It's my first book. It's actually a trilogy. I'm working on another one that's within the world. That's not the sequel yet. I'm working within the world. I'm trying to build kind of a world. It took me 3 years to write this. Well, I started like 5 years ago, and then like 2 years ago, one day I wrote like 60,000 words.
Oh wow.
So I had writer's block for like 3 years.
Yeah.
And then one day I was just like,
just
and it just happened. I was just like, because I'm so ADHD, like I just get hyper focused and yeah. But I'll warn you, it's not your typical Christian book. It's extremely violent.
Okay.
Because the book of Revelation is going to be extremely violent. I think Christians need to kind of get over that because Christian entertainment has been, let's say, lacking the entertainment part and only focusing on the messaging.
Yep.
I mean, you have bad guys in Christian movies that are like, oh, those gosh darn kids, I'm going to get them. That's not how an evil person talks.
No.
Right? It just isn't. Sorry to say, like a bad guy says a few cuss words sometimes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Everything's got to be rated G.
Right. And so I have like 3 or 4 curse words in this book. The evil guy says them.
We're about to do an episode on that, by the way.
Yeah, we're going to do an episode on cuss words.
Like, I think Christians care way too much about it.
That's kind of where we're landing. We want to dig into it a little bit, but
I mean, Paul says the S word in the Greek. Yep. Yeah. Scubula, I think is what the word is.
We're going to bleep that out.
Bleep that out. I said scubula.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when he says that, I mean, everything that we do is like filthy rags and is like rubbish. He uses the word scubula, which means refuse or just random things. Like it actually, like that's the actual definition is like poop, and then just talking about random things, which is exactly the S word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, same for crap. Like, I've got all this crap sitting over here. You know what I'm talking about? Like, that's exactly what scubula means.
Yeah.
It means exactly that.
But if you say crap with an S, we're too far.
Too far.
Too far. That's it. Yeah.
Well, let's segue. You kind of left me open for it. I was gonna segue into where Nephilim fly in today, and where it affects our lives here and now, and even into the future. You talked about your demonic experience that you had, and when you was in your low times, and there's so many stories of people with demonic possession and spirits and ghosts and skinwalkers and Bigfoot and all this mess. Where do you think that Nephilim play into all that with the spirit world today?
Well, first let's talk about something that one of the things I also like to do on my page is to destroy people's golden calves that they have. And one of those is the fact that people will say that fallen angels are demons. The Bible never, ever, ever says this. Ever. Right? The early church began to say that. I mean, that's why we have Milton's Paradise Lost and Dante. Like, they just equate the two. But the Bible actually never says, and thus the angels fell and became thus the demons, right? Or anything like that. And so where the demons actually come from, and this is kind of what helps the book of Enoch also helps us with this, because this is the mindset. This is why the Bible never explains where demons come from, because everybody's like, oh, we already know. Demons are the disembodied spirits of the Nephilim.
Yep.
When they die, they have nowhere to go because they obviously can't go to heaven. They also can't go to Sheol because they are an unclean spirit, right?
Yep.
And anytime the Bible hints at it, well, it calls them bastard spirits, which, I mean, it's kind of on the nose with that one. And unclean, anything that's unclean in the Bible is talking about forbidden mixtures, right? Like things that you shouldn't mix together, like dudes mixing with dudes, right? Or even eating the pork and all that kind of stuff. Like that's always what it's about. And so when they say unclean spirits, it's talking about the uncleanliness of the angels, right? And so the reason why it's important today is I think people are in for a rude awakening with the stuff that's coming down the pike with all of the UFOs, aliens, all of that kind of stuff. I think the church is in no way prepared for a disclosure event, like a real disclosure event. And what comes with that also is that validates things like abduction stories. And when you dive deep into abduction stories, that's when it gets really weird, because a lot of the time these people are abducted and they're experimented on sexually.
Yep.
There's people who have become pregnant from this, and then all of a sudden they have an abduction event, another one, and the baby's gone.
Yeah. And there are documented events where people get abducted and they call on the name of Jesus Christ. And the abduction stops.
Oh, absolutely.
Which tells me one thing: it's not an alien from Jupiter. It's probably a demon or a disembodied spirit.
My very first real sleep paralysis event, where I actually saw something. I was laying on my couch, and I woke up, and I saw these three figures standing behind my couch, and they had they looked like static. Like from an old TV, I couldn't really see what they looked like exactly, but the outline of them was kind of like your typical alien gray kind of thing. And I was lifted up off of the couch, completely paralyzed, only able to just breathe, barely being able to breathe. And the only thing I could do, my mouth was clenched shut. And the only thing I could do was say, Jeebus. I even said Jeebus, right? Because I couldn't get the S sound out, immediately dropped and woke up.
Wow.
And that's not even the craziest sleep paralysis story. But here's the thing. Fallen angels and Satan and all there's first of all, there's more than just Satan, there's more than just demons, right? There's a lot more.
There's a whole hierarchy of angels, demons.
I could spend an hour talking about that, right?
Yep.
People think that it's just God and the angels and then Satan and his demons. Nope. Not even remotely close. But the angels that fell have to figure out some kind of plan, right? And it's hard to kind of decipher what that plan is, but abduction is definitely a part of that, and the testing on people, because they're trying to figure out something.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
And I think that is trying to figure out how to make the Nephilim, how to genetically alter them to look just like us. Because the Antichrist, Genesis says that he is going to be the seed of Satan. What does that mean? Satan is not in the book of Enoch. He's not in the Genesis 6 stuff. He doesn't participate. He's not even mentioned. And that's because the Nephilim that he will create is the final one. The final boss Nephilim. And when I wrote my book, I basically was trying to figure out what I actually believe about the book of Revelation and end times. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to write a story to kind of flesh out what I believe, because I had all these thoughts about specific things, but I'd never actually put it together into one cohesive doctrine or theology. And so that's kind of what this is. At some point, there is going to be a deception. We all know this. Many Christians think that, oh, we'll just be gone before that. Here's the thing. I don't argue with pre-trib people. I am not I grew up pre-trib. It was pounded into me my whole life. Left behind, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. We had that conversation this week,
matter of fact. Just in a car ride, we had that conversation.
I am not pre-trib. Here's the thing. If you believe that we are going to be raptured before any of the really bad stuff happens, I'm not going to argue with you about it, but you have to realize that you need to prepare as if you are wrong.
Yep.
Because if you are wrong, you will be woefully unprepared for what is to come.
And I really think the Holy Spirit, God, is moving in this movement of us podcast, you with your stuff, Michael Heisner, all the people that are really digging into this stuff, Blurry Creatures, Dr. Laura Sanger. I believe. Oh, sweet. Nice. I was listening to that today, preparing for this, but I believe all that is coming to light to prepare us for that. Like I think God knows everything. He sees that the church is ignoring this, and it's guys like us that are having to bring it up and talk about it and look like idiots to most people.
It's out now more than it ever has been. People are actually willing to talk about it, which is excellent. I mean, my mom is reading about it and asking me questions about it, and that blows my mind. Right? Yeah. That blows my. I mean, she's been a Baptist her whole life. And now she's talking about the Nephilim to me. Talks to me about aliens and UFOs. And like 10 years ago, she would have just been like, here goes Cayton again.
Talking his crazy talk.
And I mean, like sometimes I go and I teach apologetics at youth camps. And every single time, anytime I do that, I tell the person who invites me, I'm going to talk about aliens.
Nice.
I'm going to.
What's the reaction usually?
I've never had somebody say no. Because people are like, okay, that sounds like something the teens would be interested in. Because the church needs to talk about this stuff.
Yeah.
We have to. Not only like does the church need to know, we need to have an answer for it, for how it fits within our biblical world frame. And how we can actually explain these things. Here's the thing. The Bible, the supernatural world, and the Bible have vehicles in them, right? Go and read the first chapter of Ezekiel. Tell me that the supernatural world doesn't have vehicles. Like people think supernatural and spiritual, they just think it's ethereal and it's untouchable. Like we think of these things in a very like Middle Ages kind of way of thinking about the supernatural. And that's another thing I try to do is help people understand the supernatural. First of all, when we die, the supernatural just becomes natural, right?
Right.
Supernatural is just something we cannot explain with our knowledge today. You go back to the first century, you show them a phone, they're going to think that's supernatural, right? And so when you have the prophets experiencing these things and they're trying to describe these things, they're trying to describe something with a vernacular from 3,000 years ago, trying to describe something that's flying in the sky. The only thing they know about is birds. The only vehicle they know about is a chariot, right?
Right.
That's why you get a chariot of fire. Like, it was not like it doesn't mention horses.
No.
And anytime I've seen that depicted in art, it's got a chariot with horses flying up into the sky. No, like they just didn't know how to, like, that's one of the things that Ancient Aliens actually gets right. Is like, I'll tell you right now, it is
Aliens.
Aliens. I've watched every single episode, every single one, and the reason
I can't do it, brother. It's too late.
The reason why is because that plays directly into what the deception that's coming is going to be. Right?
Yeah.
That all of these ancient aliens that came from another planet, well, they're the reason why we have all of these different religions. It was just these goat herders that saw something that they didn't understand, and they worshiped them as gods, right? That's going to be, it's basically like Stargate. I don't know if you guys ever watched Stargate, but that's,
oh yeah, it's classic.
It's awesome. And in my book, that's the very first part of the book is the main character is sitting on the couch with his wife, and he's immersed in this technology, and the president is speaking, and all of a sudden, these entities come and reveal themselves as the gods. And they are they're an ancient race called the Gilgum, and they are they've been watching us and guiding us for thousands of years. And all the ancient religions, they're not wrong. They were just ancient goat herders, right? Like, so, you can't blame them for not understanding what was actually happening. And so right there, you unite all of the world's religions immediately. Because nobody was wrong except for the atheists still.
Well, I mean, you're hearing that today even. Well, we're all worshiping the same God.
Right.
Just in a different way.
Right. Oh, bro.
You're hearing that all the time.
That James Tallarico, who is running for Senate.
Oh, yeah, that guy's.
He's running for Senate in my state. He would be my senator. Oh, my goodness, it terrifies me. That is the most dangerous kind of Christian.
Close enough, right?
Yeah. I mean,
he's close enough.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, because that's what Satan does, is he tells 99% truths. 99% of what he has to say is true.
Sure.
And then
he knows the Bible better than we do.
But that 1% is really bad.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so, honestly, I think that, because like I said before, when God shows up and goes scorched earth every time in the Bible, 100% of the time in the Bible, when he shows up scorched earth, the Nephilim are involved. There's only one more time where God will be showing up and going scorched earth.
Yep.
That's the book of Revelation. And people who receive this mark of the beast, they are incapable of getting saved after that. Why is that? Well, also again in the book, and what I actually think is it's going to have something to do. I think you guys said you'd heard of Douglas Hamp. The author, he wrote Corrupting the Image. He's got 3 of them. I'm listening to the 3rd one now. And one of the things he talks about is the mark. Well, I don't believe the mark of the beast is going to be a barcode or a monster can.
Oh man, I saw it. I saw the monster can. You flip that thing up. It's 666.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's what
I can't
it
argue
is,
with that.
right? It's 666. And anytime people do this, it's sixes. There's 3 6s there.
It's clear as day. I don't see why
How could
everybody
you
doesn't get
not
on that.
see that? I mean, it's just plainly
for real.
That's the Antichrist, right? But
clearly,
I think honestly, what will be happening is we will have such an advance in technology that they are going to want to do something that is going to actually change our DNA, right? Going to corrupt the image is what he's talking about. He's talking about how the image of God is kind of like our DNA, right? It's what builds us.
We're talking about CRISPR now.
Something,
doing it.
yeah, something like that. But introducing some sort of angelic DNA into that, which would allow people longevity, probably give them some sort of powers, even some
Elon Musk is talking about this right now.
Yeah.
He's talking about, we're about to get rid of aging. Within the next few years, that's going to be something.
And one of the weirdest parts of the book of Revelation, and one thing that cannot happen right now, is it says that people will want to die but will not be capable of doing so. For forever, people have just kind of said, well, that God's just going to remove death supernaturally. And when it comes to the Bible, especially the book of Revelation, I like to think of a natural approach, like until I can no longer. And with Elon Musk, they're trying to be able to download consciousness into some sort of an AI robot within the next 20 years.
And I fully believe that timeline will be picked up as AI grows.
Oh, absolutely.
So that timeline is going to be kicked.
And people don't realize, like, we're like 6 months away from AI being capable of actually getting rid of most like white collar jobs.
Yep.
I've been playing with it.
Trust me, we've been asking those questions.
I've asked AI myself, when are you taking my job?
Yes.
He tried to make me feel better and
said it's not possible.
I just didn't like it.
But here's the thing, like technology, it used to be like every 18 months we would double our capacity of technology. Like every 18 months, it would double, and that gets exponential over time. But with AI, it's like every 6 months. Every time that they come out with a new version, even like just a 4.6, right?
Yeah.
Wait till we get to 6.6, right? 6.6.
Oh yeah.
Stop
it.
Here we go.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like, I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing some very, very seriously biblical stuff within the next 7 years. My book actually takes place in, I think, 2040. It's been a while since I read it and talked about it, but it's like 10, 15 years in the future. Not that far.
Yeah.
And AI, with its capacity to basically double every 6 months or even triple. I mean, it is insane. Like, if you go and you watch my music videos on my YouTube channel, which is, I think it's still Metal Bible Podcast, and he changed that, but I made 3 music videos in the span of like a year and a half. Or no, it was the span of a year. I made them like one every like 4 months or so. And I used AI to create the music videos. There's that stupid camera again. I used AI to create the music, the music videos. And from the very first one, which is called Fall of the Nephilim, you could tell, it's very clearly just I was able to make some images move and that kind of stuff. And then the next one is called Slay the Gods, talking about, it's a Psalm 82 song, and it's exponentially better. Music video is awesome. But then you get to the third one, which is like 8 to 10 months away from the very first one, and it looks like an anime movie.
Yep. It's crazy.
Right? And that's just, and I made those a year ago. So I haven't even really gone back and messed with that technology in a year.
It's nuts right now.
I know. I know.
Absolutely.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
It's taking us next level.
I mean, I worked as a behavior therapist working with autistic kids. God bless it. I gotta stop moving my hands. I worked with autistic kids for a while, and I worked for a big corporation. And I was helping them kind of integrate AI into their platform and helping create videos for new people, to training videos. And I was able to take the CEO and I had her just say a couple, like 2 lines of words. And I took an image of her, and then I made all of the training videos, and she didn't have to do any recording, and you cannot tell the difference. And that's the corporate level stuff. And that's the corporate level stuff that's just basic. That's just basic stuff. I think AI, first of all, it's going to, in 5 years, we're not going to recognize the world that we live in.
No.
We already
No,
don't.
no.
I
It's
know.
already.
But we're
Get on
really
social
not,
media at
we're
this point.
really
It's
not
bad.
going to recognize the world that we live in, because I think things like Netflix and Disney, and they're already kind of starting to work on this kind of stuff. We're going to see where you're going to log into Netflix and you're going to find your favorite creator and follow their series that they create by themselves using AI and be able to upvote it. I mean, that'll be the new social media.
Yep.
Well, let's all go watch Cayton's Babylon Games series, right? Which I also made a trailer. I made a trailer for that for the book. It looks like a movie trailer.
Yeah.
And that was actually the last thing that I did. So that one is even like more crazy. It looks and sounds like a movie trailer. And people are gonna be able to create full movies. AI is insane. But Christians need to not fear it. We need to use it in ways that are good. Because AI by itself is neutral.
Yeah.
It's going to be used for very evil things and ultimately bring on the destruction of everything. Obviously,
Yeah, that's my fear right now with it, is everybody's falling in love with it, including ourselves. To be honest with you,
Sure.
like we use the snot out of it, and I'm afraid it's like setting us up for.
We need to find some Christians that are super tech savvy that can help us create a Christian AI to help us combat the stuff that's coming.
Yeah.
Because if we don't, we're going to be screwed.
Yeah.
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 We really are. I mean, the level of intrusion in our lives has already gone up. I mean, we used to just carry around a phone and that was bad. Now we're telling AI everything about ourselves.
Yeah.
I mean,
That'll probably never be used for nefarious reasons.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Have you ever gone to ChatGPT and have it roast you?
Yeah. I've been in the room while somebody else did it.
We got a buddy that's addicted to it.
It's pretty
funny.
funny.
A little too personal, actually.
Like I use the paid version of ChatGPT, and it actually makes a difference, and it's actually worth it. I think it's like $20 a month.
Yeah.
But it knows you. And another thing that I actually started doing today is you can actually ask it to kind of review your Facebook page and tell you what you need to do to make it grow bigger. And it will go, like you just put the link in, tell it, I want you to review my Facebook page. I need, and I need you to critique me. And it gives you like a list of all the things you can do and how to make it better. It's life-changing.
Yeah.
I don't even use.
We're making notes.
I'm making notes right now, circling that.
It really is. I mean,
well, Cayton, we've been going for an hour, and we've went from before the creation of time to AI and the pending apocalypse.
I told you it is throughout the entire Bible.
It is.
One thing I meant to talk about this, so I have to say it. One of the key parts is Jesus when he goes and he stands and says, "On this rock I will build my church." Catholics look at that as Peter. Protestants look at that as like a symbol for God is our rock and Jesus is our rock. Jesus was actually standing on Mount Hermon when he said that, right? Mount Hermon in the book of Enoch is where 200 angels came down and decided that they were going to mate and create the Nephilim.
Yep.
So when Jesus stands on that rock and says, "On this rock I will build my church," he is declaring war on them right there. Because also at the base of Mount Hermon is you actually have a place, a cave where they would actually worship the god Pan. You can go to Mount Hermon today. There's actually an ancient like rock that somebody carved into, and it's from like 3rd century BC, and it talks about the angels that came here to create the Nephilim. And that blew my mind when I found that out.
That's insane. Yeah.
And also, the UN has a military base on it.
I just pulled that out.
Yeah.
Gemini says, yes, the UN has a significant and long-standing presence on Mount Hermon.
Yep. I think we talked about that early in. Yeah.
The world is run by satanic pedophiles, and they have a base on Mount Hermon.
Yeah.
Just kind of
If
ties it
that's-
all
That
together.
should tie everything together for you.
How does that not tie everything together?
Yeah, it's excellent.
Well, Cayton, brother, I really, really do appreciate you coming on today. This was big for us, big for the show.
Yeah.
We were excited about it all week long.
Yeah, we'll have
and
to do
since
it again
we
for sure.
connected with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
for sure, 100%. So yeah, we're gonna fade us out. Bum, bum, drop it.
Yeah. Throw a little music in
Yeah,
there.
give your plug real quick. Where do we find you at,
You
Cayton?
can go to Facebook, find me Middle Bible Studio. I also have a YouTube channel. Haven't put much on there in a while, but I'm about to start back up. Middle Bible Podcast on there. I'm going to change it. Just type in Middle Bible. You'll probably find it on there. You can find my book
Sweet.
on Amazon. You can type in Cayton McDonald, Cayton, or just Babylon Games, Rise of the Gods.
Nice, appreciate it, brother. And yeah, go check out his Facebook. I get stuck in there. I'm a recovering troll myself, and I love to spend a lot of time in there. But
I love to troll
yeah,
atheists really, really hard there.
It's a blast. It's a blast. But man, appreciate it for Steven and Joey and Cayton. Appreciate you listening.